What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a very exciting Liverpool transfer news video, because the Athletic news outlet is reporting that Liverpool are in the strongest position to sign Mason Mount out of all the clubs. Mason Mount rejected all the contract offers from Chelsea and he is sitting on the bench, so he wants to leave, even though Chelsea is he was a youth academy player there, but Mason Mount grew up as a Portsmouth fan, so he's not really a boyhood Chelsea fan. And the Athletic are reporting that Liverpool are in the strongest position to conclude the deal, even though Man United, Man City, Tottenham and Newcastle are all monitoring the situation of Mason Mount. And apparently, because Thomas Tuchel is now a new Bayern Munich manager, he could be interested in Mason Mount, but that is only speculation, because Thomas Tuchel and Mason Mount had a very good relationship at Chelsea. And according to the Athletic, significant conversations have taken place at Liverpool over a potential move for Mason Mount. Liverpool look to rebuild their midfield, obviously, after Arthur, Naby Keita, Oleg Chamberlain and potentially James Milner will all leave the club. So that's 4 out of 8 midfielders that Liverpool have that Liverpool won't have next season. So it's pretty obvious that Liverpool need at least 2 world class and another young, really energetic midfielder in the side. But I don't think we have to worry about Bayern Munich's interest in Mason Mount, because they already have an absolutely stacked midfield, plus Konrad Reimer is going there on a free transfer from Leipzig in the summer. Bayern Munich absolutely love to pinch players from their rivals. They did it with Dortmund, they are doing it with Leipzig. I mean, the previous manager Nagelsmann came from Leipzig, Upamecano came from Leipzig, and now, Sabitzer, I think, came from Leipzig, and now Leimer will be another Leipzig player heading to Bayern Munich. So guys, if you enjoy these transfer news update videos, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new around here, and also press the thanks button below the video if you want to further contribute and support my channel. And Mount's priority, of course, would be to stay at Chelsea, but Chelsea didn't buckle under his contract demands. And as we go closer to the summer, it's very likely that Mason Mount will leave Chelsea, because Chelsea cannot afford to let Mason Mount go on a free transfer. He's normally a 50-60 million pound player, but Liverpool could get him for 40 million because his contract expires next summer, and because Chelsea spent so much money, they have to recoup some of that money, and they will sell quite a few players this summer, including Mason Mount. And it must be so frustrating for Mason Mount, because he was Chelsea's player of the season last season and 2 seasons ago, and this season he's warming the bench, and it must be very, very frustrating for Mason Mount. Even though I think he loves Chelsea, I think that's why he wants to leave. And also, according to a report, Mason Mount has been demanding £300,000 per week. He basically wants this big salary to reflect his contribution to the Chelsea cause, but Chelsea, having new ownership and changing their transfer policy, buying so many players, giving them big contracts, long contracts on high wages, they just don't want to give Mason Mount £300,000 per week, and I don't think Liverpool would want to give him that money. Another report in the Athletic claims that suggestions Mount has been demanding £300,000 per week are wide of the mark, so probably that's a little bit exaggerated, and I'm not sure which journalist that has come from, that claim, but probably a more realistic wage for Mason Mount would be around £250,000 per week, which is still an incredible amount of money. And Mason Mount, whatever he chooses, whatever path he goes down to, he is set for life. That's why I don't really understand when footballers demand high wages, and if he really wants to stay at Chelsea, he would accept a lower contract. Why? I think he might not want to stay at Chelsea. He doesn't want to be a bench player, and he doesn't know whether Graham Potter will be there next season or not. If there was another manager coming next season, guaranteed, then Mason Mount would definitely stay at Chelsea. But if Graham Potter stays, he's not a big Mason Mount fan apparently, so that's why probably he wants to leave. And apparently what happened is Chelsea wanted to offer Mason Mount a super long contract, a contract that would take him into his 30s at Chelsea, so a potential 5 or 6 year extension. I think Mason Mount right now is 23 years old, so maybe even a 7 or 8 year contract, so they can really lock Mount in long term. And that's why there has been a stalemate in the contract talks, because Chelsea wanted a longer contract. Mason Mount doesn't want to lock himself into a contract deal with Chelsea that would take him into his 30s, because if he would want to leave Chelsea in 2 or 3 years, Chelsea would just ask for a ridiculous amount of money for him, and they could basically hold him to ransom Mason Mount. And Chelsea are doing this smartly. They offered Mason Mount a new contract which is shorter after the World Cup finished, but on a much lower salary, and of course Mason Mount didn't want to accept it. And what also happened is Mason Mount's agent and his representatives became aware that basically Chelsea wants to sell Mason Mount if he doesn't agree a new contract, and that hardly helped the relationship between Mason Mount and his camp and Chelsea, openly saying that he will be sold if he doesn't agree a new contract. That probably soured the relationship even more. And there is now a belief within the game that Mason Mount can be persuaded to leave, but probably a decision on that won't be made until the end of the season. The Athletic state that significant conversations have taken place within Liverpool over a prospective move for Mason Mount. Liverpool already giving proper consideration to what kind of a contract they could offer to play Mason Mount to persuade him to join them. So that's very encouraging that Liverpool are actively working on this situation and actively working on, giving Mason Mount the contract that he would want to accept at Liverpool. And there has been concern about Tsimikas' fitness at Liverpool after just 24 minutes in Greece's near friendly draw against Lithuania. Tsimikas signaled to the bench that he wants a substitution, but it looks like that the injury is not as serious. Tsimikas only sustained a minor injury according to some reports to his back, and he could be even in contention to face Man City. Probably Robertson will start, who by the way was absolutely brilliant for Scotland in this international break. He got 2 assists, one against Cyprus. Scotland won 3-0, but that's not the big game. The big game was Scotland-Spain, and Scotland ran out 2-0 winners, and Robertson got an assist in that, and he defended brilliantly, and Spain suffered their first loss against Scotland in like 39 years. So that was a historic win for Scotland, and they actually have a good chance now to qualify for the Euros. And there is hope that Joe Gomez could be back sitting on the bench against Man City, and Luis Diaz could be in contention to be on the bench against Manchester City. And also it's an advantage Liverpool in terms of Haaland and Phil Foden might not be fit to face Man City on Thursday. That's the latest update I heard. Haaland still hasn't been in team training, and the game coming so early, Saturday lunchtime, Haaland would need to have a miraculous recovery, but he's a robot, so if anybody can recover from an injury, that's adding Haaland. But if Liverpool will face Man City without Haaland and without Foden, Liverpool have a bigger chance to get something from the Etihad, but they still are underdogs in this game. Liverpool doesn't have the greatest record at the Etihad. We lost there so many times, but we also won there a few times. So I really, really hope that Liverpool can turn it on against Man City and get something from the game. Even a draw I would be happy with, because if Liverpool lose that and Liverpool's rivals win, then it will be a really big struggle for Liverpool to qualify for the top 4. So Liverpool lost there in the League Cup 3-2, and then in the Premier League we got a 2-2 draw last season, then a 1-1 draw the season before that, and before that we lost 4-0, 2-1, 5-0. So the last time Liverpool have actually beaten Man City at the Etihad was a 4-1 win in 2015. So we haven't won at Man City in 8 years. So this would be the perfect time to win there. And before that we won in 2012 as well. So Liverpool don't go to Man City to win. And that's an obvious statement, I think, because Man City also are unbeaten at home for so long. The last time they lost was actually last year. The last game before the World Cup, Man City lost to Brentford in a shock result. But otherwise, Man City are winning like 95% of their home games. So it's probably one of Liverpool's hardest games. And I'm just checking Man City's home games, and it's absolutely ridiculous. And apart from the Brentford game, they drew with Everton, and they won every single other game that they played at home this season. That's an absolutely ridiculously good record. So Man City have 11 wins, 1 draw and 1 defeat in 13 games. They are actually top of the home league table. Liverpool are 13th, so bottom half in the away league table. Liverpool have 12 points in 13 games. So if Liverpool could win at the Etihad, it would be an even bigger shock than in any other season where Liverpool were flying. This season, Liverpool are struggling so badly. I think we have to go back like 10 years. The last time Liverpool had this bad away from home. 13 games and only 3 wins out of 13. And 7 defeats out of 13 games. So Liverpool lost more than half of their games away from home. So on paper, it's anything but if it's anything but a Man City win, Liverpool can be very happy with that. And I think Luis Diaz coming back from injury is the perfect timing for Liverpool, because now Liverpool will have all 6 of their forward players back fit and hopefully firing until the end of the season. Luis Diaz will be on the bench, but he could come on in the second half, and with his explosive pace, hopefully he can penetrate the Man City backline. And this is just a huge boost for Liverpool to get Luis Diaz back. And Darwin Núñez will be back as well, very likely. He also pulled out of the international games for Uruguay with an injury, but I think him working 2 weeks on his fitness, hopefully he will be able to play for Liverpool against Man City. I would start with Salah, Gakpo and Darwin Núñez up front. Jota just hasn't been, good enough since his long injury, but hopefully he can get his match sharpness up by getting these substitute appearances. Also, Virgil van Dijk has come under massive criticism from Marco van Basten, who was working as a pundit covering the Netherlands games, and he blasted Virgil van Dijk, and also Ruud Gullit blasted Virgil van Dijk as well. But Nathan Ake, who is currently playing for Man City and playing with Van Dijk with the Netherlands national team, he said Virgil is a leader for the Netherlands national team and for Liverpool, and what he has achieved is not nothing. He really is a very big personality, and apparently people don't see Virgil's importance to us on and off the pitch. We cannot imagine or wish for a better captain. And I mean, Virgil van Dijk has won everything with Liverpool. He has the whole lot, the clean slate. The collection of trophies. He has won all 7 trophies possible to win at Liverpool. And yes, this season he has been not at his best, but show me a player that consistently performs at his absolute best. Even Ronaldo or Messi had bad seasons recently. Even they are like these players are human. So there are sometimes dips in form. And I think Marco van Basten and Gullit forgets what it was like to be a footballer. You can't just play at 100% all the time, every season, throughout the whole career, your whole career, or after you are 24 years old. There are dips and peaks and valleys in your form, in your career, in your seasons. And I think Virgil van Dijk will get back to his best. Having such a terrible midfield in front of him doesn't help in the Liverpool team. I can't really comment on the Netherlands because I haven't been watching them that closely, but I guess their midfield protection hasn't been the best. I mean, getting absolutely destroyed 4-0 by France. That can happen to even the best of teams, but it didn't look good, that's for sure. So that's why I think pundits just wanted to single out Van Dijk. And I think Van Dijk will admit to himself that he will want to perform much better in the future. Thanks for watching, guys. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.